head in the ground, feet in the ground. Year of the snake, feet in the ground, head in the ground. Okay, there we go. This me? Oops, dashboard. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Any requests? On Friday. Is Friday the 21st? Yeah. We have we have Harmonious Healing Sound Bath with Elizabeth on Friday. We have Restorative Yoga with Eric on Sunday. And at the end of the month on Feb 28th, if anyone's interested, we're starting a Yoga Child 95-hour kids yoga teacher training. January was a decade and February was 10 seconds. Things are weird, but we have yoga. Welcome. I see maybe some new faces. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Mariel, and I'll facilitate our practice today. And everything I offer to you is an invitation, not an obligation, so please feel really free, really encouraged, really empowered to take it or leave it, to modify, to spectate, to do you. This is your practice, and yet we're here to practice together, so we can move differently but still move together, and that's why we're here. This is Melissa. She's here to help. She assists. She'll teach something today and come around and help. What do you want to teach?
What are you teaching?
We'll talk. And this is Camden. Camden's on the mat demoing both for you in studio and folks at home. So if I say something or you're just not sure what's going on, peek up at Camden. She's able to demonstrate with her body what I am trying to say with my words. And you're a far better communicator, so thanks for being here. Any requests?
Here, former stretch.
Okay. To stretch it?
Yeah.
Okay. Lower back. It's connected. Shoulders. Okay, it's not a speak now or forever hold your peace model, so as we sort of start to dial into our bodies through warm-ups, if something starts to speak to you from your body, just call it out or call one of us over and we'll make sure to incorporate it. I pretty much always like to teach a full spectrum practice, just to make sure we hit all the hot spots, get into all the shadows, little nooks and crannies, so we'll do that. But if you have questions, comments, concerns, pro tips, please chime in, offer your voice, raise your voice, share your voice. I'm happy that we're together. We get to be here and do this together. Take as comfortable a posture as humanly possible for you in this moment. Can take a nice seat, or if you prefer to lie down or sit against the wall, that's cool too. Allow your eyes to soften. You can soften your gaze downward or even close your eyes, a gesture of turning into darkness in order to see more clearly. Look for your breath. The entire physical practice of yoga is first and foremost in service to your breath, the gift of life that fills us, surrounds us, and connects us to each other and all that is. For those of you in the room who are familiar with Ujjayi breath, I often, in our climate, I don't teach to practice with Ujjayi breath during all times of year, but today, this February day, I think we have 100% humidity today, so if you love Ujjayi breath and want to practice it throughout your session today, please feel free. If you're like, what the fuck is that? No worries. As we practice yoga, the goal is intimacy with the breath, and we breathe in and out through our nose. So feel the breath come in through the nose and out through the nose. Of course, sinuses and allergies, viruses permitting. First and foremost, breathe. Secondly, breathe in and out through your nose. And as you inhale, take the breath all the way in and down into your ground of being, into your seat, into the earth. Let that breath fill you all the way up into your crown. The breath ignites the heart. And as you exhale, the splendor of the heart emanates from inside out as far and wide as your exhale and your imagination allows. Expand your exhale, expand your imagination. Let the light of the heart emanate far and wide. As you inhale, take the breath in and down. Let it fill you up. The breath ignites the heart at your own pace. And as you exhale, the light of the heart emanates from inside out, filling you, surrounding you, and expanding far and wide. The physical practice of yoga is an opportunity to align ourselves, engage ourselves, and stretch ourselves through aligned engagement in order to really enhance and optimize our capacity for breath, for energy, for life. The physical practice of yoga in service to the breath, which is in service to the heart, is a strategy for enhancing and expanding our bandwidth. As you deepen your breath, feel how naturally your breath deepens you. As your breath ignites your heart, the voice of the true teacher becomes more revealed. The voice of the true teacher, never further than your heart, which is never further than your breath. The voice of the true teacher, the light of the heart, informs, illuminates, and inspires the faculty of our minds and the agency of our bodies. And on your next inhalation, we'll bring the hands together before the heart in Anjali Mudra, a gesture of sincere self-reverence that acknowledges and honors the voice of the true teacher, the indwelling light of the heart, always present, intrinsically peaceful, utterly powerful, never further than your heart, which is never further than your breath. And a gesture that places this aspect of ourselves, the source of supreme love and divine wisdom, before us as a guide for at least the time we spend together. And together, let's set the tone for our practice today by sharing the voices of our hearts, by joining the voices of our heart together as one in the sound of one collective Om. Please feel free to join into the sound or let it wash over you. Deep breath in. Om. Bow to your heart as best you can, keeping that connection inward unwavering. Release the hands. Blink open the eyes, and let's come onto all fours to start in a tabletop position. Find your breath. And just begin by linking breath and movement in the ways that naturally feel good for you. It'll probably be something like exhale to round your back. Inhale to arch. Really slow down your breath and move in the wake of the breath so the breath slightly precedes all actions, all movements. The breath is the lead dancer. And as you follow the breath, let the breath guide your awareness deeper into the fabric of your body so that you can more clearly and deeply notice what you feel and feel what you notice. How does it feel? Where do you feel it? Look inward, listen inward. You can linger for an extra cycle of breath or more on each side of the stretch. Another breath or two, come into more of a neutral spine position, hands at the top corners of your mat. Walk your knees back just a little bit behind your hips. Stretch the right leg straight back with the ball of the foot on the ground. And as you press your hands down and forward, stretch back through your right heel. In that stretch, the right hip tends to lift up. Tack the right hip crease down towards the earth. Sort of like twist your hips a little bit from right to left. Right hip towards the floor, left hip lifts as you press the right heel back. Breathe into what can't be seen, but can be felt. And then lower the right knee down and switch to the left side. Press the left heel back. Notice if that left hip jumped up a little bit. Wrap the left hip point towards the earth. And breathe into what can't be seen, but can be felt. Push the hands down and forward to press the heel back. Lower the right knee down. Turn your right hand clockwise so that your right fingertips point towards your right knee. If that's too much, you can walk your knees forward to bring less stretch into the forearm. And if you want more, walk your knees back more. And then turn the right hand around, turn the left hand, is it counterclockwise, I think? And it could be really different from side to side. So walk the knees forward or back, just depending on what suits you. Draw the bottom ribs up. Put a little micro bend in your elbows and claw your fingertips. And then energetically sort of press your left hand forward as you send your hips back with a micro bend. Is that a little deeper? Okay, turn the left hand around. Big breath in. As you exhale, we'll meet in downward dog. Follow your breath, not my voice. Can bend the left leg a lot to stretch back through the right leg. Bend the right leg a lot to stretch back through the left leg. Push through the inner edges of the hands. Glue the entire inner edge of the hand, the surface of the palm of your hand at the inner edge to the earth, into the earth, to stretch up through the hips. Lift your heels up high. Bend your knees deep, and by bringing your knees towards the ground, can you lift your hips higher? Can you feel that? Like really stick your butt out. And as you push through the hands and lift through the hips, your belly, your bottom ribs, and the front of your body, draw them towards the back of your body as though you're knitting or connecting your bottom ribs in front to your spine. And now push your thigh bones up to the sky. And as you exhale, let the heels ground towards the earth. Do you feel that like deeper in the backs of the legs? On your inhale, float the right leg high to the sky. Mindful of this back row. If you want more space, you can move forward off the wall. On your exhale, draw your knee to your nose, your heel to your butt cheek. Really sort of round your spine, push your hands down and forward, and almost press your knee towards your heart center, heel to butt cheek. On the inhale, extend the leg up and back. And as you exhale, quietly, stealthy, step through to lunge. On your inhale, reach up, stretch up. Find your breath. Feel both feet on the ground. As you push into the ball of your back foot, lift your back knee and thigh high to the sky. Feel the back leg get straighter, stronger, more lifted. And as you pull the feet towards each other, stretch up through the thumbs like you're holding onto the ceiling, and bend the front leg deeper. One more breath. On your exhale, plant your hands. Take it back to downward facing dog. Find downward facing dog. Look for your breath. Feel root through every single fingertip. Lift the heels up high, bend the knees deep, draw the bottom ribs towards the spine as you push through the arms, lift through the hips, press your thigh bones to the sky. like you're trying to raise the roof with the backs of your thighs. Keep that as your heels root towards the earth. Notice if there is a difference from side to side. Breathe, feel, notice. On your inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Feel both feet on the ground. Left knee and toes point straight ahead. Push into the ball of the back foot, like you're trying to push it, not onto the earth, but really into the earth, into sand. And then lift your back heel high, press your back knee and thigh to the sky, reach up through the thumbs more, reach up through the elbow creases, the crown of the head, the fingertips. And as you reach up, stretch up, let just the top of your front thigh descend. On your exhale, plant your hands, pause. Lift the back heel, knee, and thigh high to the sky. Can you keep your knee close to your heart here and draw your heel to your butt cheek? Think knee towards the heart, heel to butt cheek. Breathe. Inhale the leg high to the sky. Exhale, float it down. Find your breath. Inhale to plank. Claw your fingertips, just like the back leg and lunge. Lift your knees and thighs high to the sky. Squeeze your butt, draw your bottom ribs towards your spine. Look forward. As you exhale, bend your elbows just about halfway. Inhale, push the arms straight. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale to plank. Squeeze your legs, your butt. Pause at the top of the inhale, bend your elbows halfway. Exhale, push your arms straight. Downward dog. Find your breath, breath to heart, heart to mind, mind to body. Take your feet a little wider than your hips, and then energetically hug your feet back towards each other. Inhale to plank. Squeeze your legs, squeeze your butt, bend your elbows. Exhale, push your arms straight. Nice, Camden, downward dog. On your inhale, float your right leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, take a huge step forward, standing tall mountain at the top of your mat with your right hand. Find your left wrist, reach up and over to the right. And as you reach up and over to the right, ground through your left leg more. Root through the inner. Try not to lock the left knee. Sway your hips to the left as you reach to the right. And now look towards your heart and belly and slide the rib cage towards the back of the room. And then the skull towards the back of the room. And now your arm bones towards the back of the room. Inhale to reach up through center. Exhale, bend your legs deep, fingertips tap the earth. Inhale, reach the arms up, Utkatasana chair pose. Exhale, sit deeper. Fingertips to the floor, step your left foot back to lunge. Spin your back heel to the ground, climb your right forearm to your right thigh and reach the left arm overhead. As you push through the inner edge of the left foot, stretch through the left fingertips. Slide the ribs back, the head back, the left arm bone back. Slide that right shoulder back so that right shoulder blade is moving towards the spine. And imagine a countertop or a tabletop right underneath your left palm, I guess more like a shelf, and you're trying to push that shelf towards the floor to draw the rib cage up and back. Inhale for warrior two, push your front leg straight, and as you exhale, bring your right fingertips to the floor or a block for triangle pose. Find your breath. Breathing in and out through the nose, smoothly, steadily. Linking breath and action as you pull the feet towards each other. Feel the legs engage from the ground all the way up into your hips. Hug your butt cheeks. Yes. Your center. Push through the legs to lean back over the shoulder blades. One more breath. On your exhale, pass through your low lunge. Take it back to downward dog. And just take a moment to pause, feel, notice the difference, if any, from side to side. Spread the toes, claw the fingers, put a little bend in your legs. Take your heels a little wider, just the heels, and see how the knees turn in? Keep the heels wider and take your inner knees apart. Good. I know that's in your feet, but that connects all the way up into the piriformis. So when you take the heels wider, the knees turn in. Bend the knees a little bit and take the inner knees towards the little toes. Yes. Inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up, follow your breath. Exhale, big step forward to the top of your mat, standing tall mountain. This time, left hand finds the right wrist. Reach up and over to the left. And as you reach up, out, and over to the left, ground through your right leg. Hips to the right. As you send your hips to the right, the weight tends to fall to the outer edge of the foot. Push more through the inner edge of the right foot. Then look down towards your belly, your heart, and slide the rib cage back, and then the head back, and then the arm bones back. And breathe into what can't be seen, but can be felt. Inhale, reach up through center, get taller now. Exhale, bend the legs, fingertips tap the earth. Stay deep in the legs as you inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, sit deeper, one more breath in. As you exhale, fingertips to the floor, step your right foot back to the lunge, back heel to the ground. Left forearm to left thigh, reach the right arm overhead for Parsva Konasana prep, extended side angle. Find your breath. Into your inner back heel. The inner back heel presses back. Stretch through your right fingertips, especially the thumb. Turn that whole right arm in so that the outer triceps moves towards your cheeks. Slide the ribs back, the ears back, the arm bone back. And use your left elbow to guide that left knee a little more open. Squeeze the heel in, guide the knee open. Pull the feet towards each other and reach up and back through warrior two. Big breath in, push your front leg straight. Exhale for triangle. To the right arm to the sky. You got long legs. A little bit. How's that? Is it okay to touch? Okay. Yeah, this is a tough one. Yeah, you're very limby. I can relate. This used to be my nemesis pose. One more of the deepest, fullest breaths. And on your exhale, pass through lunge, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Pause. Bend your elbows. Keep your knees and thighs lifting. Exhale, push your arms straight. Big breath in. Exhale, bend your elbows halfway. Inhale, slide the heart forward and up, cobra pose. Point the feet, press the tops of your feet down so much your knees and thighs lift a little bit. And as you claw your fingertips into the earth, slide the hands back to reach the heart forward. Is it okay to touch? Oh yeah, press the inner edges of your hands down, yes. Exhale for downward dog. Walk your hands towards your feet and your feet towards your hands. Meet yourself somewhere in the center. Put a little bend in your legs. Climb your hands to your hips. And on your inhale, come all the way up to standing. Let's find a strap. Melissa can come around with some. Just raise a hand if you need one and we'll come to you. This is so cute. Is this 2 pieces? Oh my God.
Just got it.
Love it.
I'm trying it out today.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Anyone else need them in the back? We good? Okay. Can I have one, Melissa? Thanks, my love. as athletic as I get. All right, we're just gonna step the feet as wide as the mat and put the center of your heels like on the outer edges of your mat. The center of your heels on the outer edges of your mat. And now keep that and put the base of your second toes on that same line. Little softness through the knees, and as you inhale, hug your feet towards each other. You feel your legs engage. Take the strap behind your back. The palms face the back of the room. And then you can wrap your fingers around the strap. And the hands are like hips width apart at first with the elbows bent. Bring the shoulders up and together on the back so that the shoulder blades, I should say, the shoulder blades come together. And as the shoulder blades come together, can you bring your hands a little closer and then pull the hands apart? Can you feel all that engagement in the back body now? And now press the hands back. Like you're reaching for the back of the room. Little bend in the elbows, try to pull the strap apart. Lift the right shoulder up and back. Lift the left shoulder up and back. Belly breathing through your nose. Hug your feet towards each other. Reach the arms back and up. And exhale to release. Reach the right arm to the sky with the strap. Bend the right elbow like you're going to pat yourself on the back, and with your left hand, find the strap. Bring the hands just as close together as you can on the strap. And here's the key. That bottom shoulder tends to drop down and forward. Take that bottom shoulder up and back. So even here, the shoulder blades hug together, and then energetically pull the strap apart. The head tends to fall forward. Press your head back into your arm like a headrest. And the top hand pulls up and the bottom hand pulls down. Slide the ribs back and the head back. And then release the strap with the top hand. Release, release. Reach the left arm up. Sorry, that got a little dangerous. Bend the left elbow. Ooh, the side feels tighter. Anyone else? And with the right hand, reach back for the strap. You can slide the hand up the strap as much as feels appropriate for you. That right shoulder tends to drop down and forward. Draw the right shoulder up and back. Hug those shoulder blades together, and then pull the strap apart. As you inhale, hug the feet towards each other. As you exhale, think ribs back, head back, tug on the strap. And then release the bottom hand, top arm reaches up. Put the strap to the side. Wrap your arms around yourself. Just notice which arm is on top. Doesn't matter which, just know which one. Bring the backs of the hands together. Lift the elbows up to shoulder height. You can either keep the backs of the hands together. Some folks might be able to bring the palms together. You can if you want, you don't have to. And now here's the key. The bottom elbow presses up, the top elbow presses down. Hug your feet towards each other. Let's heel toe the feet to hips width apart and sit deep into chair pose. Bend the legs, take your butt back, press your bottom elbow up. Use your bottom arm to lift your top arm. Sit a little deeper. Inhale to unfurl, reach up. Woo. Exhale, float the arms down. You want to stagger with your neighbors a little bit, that's fine. I had my up. You do you, whichever wasn't on top goes on top now. Give yourself a great big hug. Feel how it all kind of spreads apart here where we were just hugging together. We're going to bring the backs of the hands together, lift the elbows up, and can you get the shoulder blades? It's like a very opposite action. Get the shoulder blades to hug together here. Backs of the hands towards each other, palms, backs of the hands is totally great. Bottom elbow presses down. Nope. Top elbow presses down. Bottom elbow presses up. Sit deep into chair pose. Think back and down like you're reaching for a preschool chair. And then the bottom elbow lifts the top elbow up. Backs of the hands together. Sit deeper. Inhale to unfurl. Exhale, hands to heart. Step the feet as wide as the mat. Take your strap behind your back again. Draw the shoulders up, shoulder blades together. Reach the arms back, big breath in. Exhale, fold, reach the arms up to the sky. Bend in the elbows, pull the hands apart,
As you inhale, hug the feet towards each other, reach the arms up, the chest lifts. And as you exhale, fold, let the arms get heavy like wet branches overhead. Bend in the elbows, pull the strap apart. One more breath. Exhale to release. Inhale, get long through the spine. As you exhale, let's walk the forward bend towards the front of the mat and then step your right foot back to lunge with both blocks high inside your front foot. My Year of the Snake playlist isn't quite long enough yet, can you tell? Let's try this. Lower the back knee to the ground. Pad with a blanket or the edge of your mat as needed. Walk your front foot back if needed, just to make sure your knee is over your ankle, that your ankle is not forward of your foot. Both blocks inside your front foot, bend your back leg, and with your left hand, find your left foot. Right hand. Right hand to right foot. Right hand to right foot for a thigh stretch. If you feel steady, come more upright, bring your left hand to your left thigh, and push your hand into your left thigh. Okay, I get why I'm so confused. Okay. Left hand into left thigh, and push your left arm straight. Yes, and draw the left shoulder blade to meet the right shoulder blade. Pull your back knee forward, and like child's pose, send your hips towards your back foot. Keep that bend the front leg deeper. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Bend your left elbow like you're gonna pat yourself on the back, like your left arm is a headrest, and press your head back into your arm. Here's the key. As you inhale, pull the back knee forward. As you exhale, press your head back into your arm. And then gently reach the left arm up, left hand to the floor inside the foot, release the right hand, pass through lunge, take a big step forward, Uttanasana, standing forward fold at the top of our mat. Are we still friends? That's deep. Fold over your legs, bow to your heart, the indwelling light, always present, intrinsically peaceful, utterly powerful, and luminous, never further than that space between the inhale and the exhale. We're gonna step the left foot back to lunge, or your second side. I'm gonna trust you on this one, your second side, but I'm just gonna look at someone who's on the same side as most of the room, or I'll use better language. Okay, so for teacher trainees in the room, we're gonna go front leg, back leg, because not everyone's on the same side, as you could tell a moment ago. Or maybe everyone is now. Both hands high on blocks inside your front leg, lower the back knee down, pad as needed, take your time in there, you know where we're going now. Walk your front foot back. Some of you are like a little too long in your stance. You wanna be as long as you can, where you can still feel like you can hug your butt cheeks. So if you overextend, you can't really engage those glutes. We do that became like very much the way in yoga in like the 10s to the 20. We're learning from our mistakes now. Anyone else in the room know what I'm talking about? So go long enough that you can get your hips to feel like you're like stretching your stance and standing your ground, but not so far that you can't hug your butt, okay? Shift your hips back a little bit, bend your back leg, and with your left hand, bind yourself to your left foot. Use a strap if needed. Bend your hips back, you can reach your back foot. You can walk that right block back if and when you feel steady, bring your right hand to your right thigh. And then as you press the back knee down and forward, push your right hand into your right thigh so much you can straighten the arm and draw the right shoulder up and back, and then reach the right arm forward and up, and bend the elbow like you're gonna pat yourself on the back or make a headrest with your forearm. And as you inhale, pull the back knee forward. As you exhale, press your head back into your arm. Follow your breath, not my voice. Slow, deep, long breath in. Pull the back knee forward. As you exhale, think tailbone down, bottom ribs back, head back into the arm. Inhale to reach the arm up. Exhale to release the back foot. Plant the hands, downward facing dog. Push through the arms to lift through the hips and ground through the heels. Claw your fingertips, spread your toes. Find your breath. Inhale to plank. Exhale to lower towards the earth in the style of U. And then inhale for cobra. Stretch back through the legs. Press the tops of the feet down. Everyone get more weight towards the little toe sides of the tops of your feet. Yes. And then hug your outer ankles and shins in. Press your tailbone down. Press the inner edges of the hands down and back. Bend your elbows a little bit. Can you walk your left hand back? Walk your right hand back. Press the hands down, in, and back, and slide the heart forward and up. Exhale, bend your elbows a little bit. Walk your right hand back. Walk your left hand back. Press the feet down, and as you inhale, slide the heart forward and up. Pull the hands back. Exhale to downward dog or child's pose. We'll meet in downward dog. Please take your time. Step the right foot through to lunge. Bring your blocks on their medium height to frame your front foot. Push the blocks down and forward so that you can draw your bottom from your front thigh. And as the bottom ribs lift, can you bend your front leg deeper without letting your belly drop? Yes, feel that? Lift the back heel high, pull the feet towards each other. Let's turn both toes to face the brick wall. Turn both feet to the right. The inner edges of both feet. One more breath. Come back through lunge. Push your front leg straight. Take the blocks higher as needed. Lift the back heel high and spin the back heel to the ground again. Just the back foot turns other way, other right. Goofy pyramid pose. As best you can, try to press the inner edge of your front foot down. So everyone in studio, your back foot's facing the brick wall. We getting into piriformis land? You shall receive. It's not, this is off of pass through lunge, downward facing dog. I just want to check in on that. You can lower the knees down, sit back on your heels. Questions, comments, concerns, conundrums on that? That's fine. Yeah.
Were you supposed to feel that in the left leg?
It's like where that question, like where are you supposed to feel it? It's just like you're gonna feel it where you feel it, and there's nothing wrong with like what you feel, how you feel, and where you feel it. The key to this practice is just that inquiry and that discovery of learning and knowing and understanding what we feel, how it feels, where we feel it. And then trust that, like, both on the mat and in life, we're gonna feel it where we're tight. We're gonna feel it where we're weak, you know? And that's the metaphor. And like wherever you feel it, can you breathe into it? Give it breath, give it life, give it the light of awareness, and notice what changes. So like the point, like when someone requests piriformis, I gotta go like, what actions, what forms are gonna get, so your piriformis is this like culprit, bodily culprit that kind of attaches from the sacrum to the greater trochanter, and it tends to be tight and weak. and it's tight and weak, and it's not a dominant muscle. So it's like really hard to access and isolate. And then especially if you have tight hamstrings, like you got to get the hamstrings out of the way in order to access the piriformis. And then the piriformis is wrapped up in a muscle group that includes like the glutes. And you actually have 3 glutes, but there's one called glute maximus, and that one really tends to dominate. So that's why I try not to say like squeeze your butt. We say more hug your butt. And so much of like 1 or 2 decades of yoga was about like not engaging the butt so that we could get to piriformis and glute medius and glute minimus. But then what happened is we got like an epidemic of hamstring attachment injuries. So so this is like DEI in your muscle groups. Like seriously, like as outside, so inside, as inside, so outside. Like you can't like isolate it. We just have to learn how to get it to all work together equally. And like every single piece has a role to play. Every single piece. You can't go like hamstrings, get out the way. Like you need your hamstrings. You can't go like glute max, get out the way, but you got to go like, let's find the piriformis. Let's raise the vibration of the piriformis. Let's get it to all work together. We're going to so the request was to open it, but like really it's got to be strong and open. So we're also going to do something to strengthen it and then try that again just to see if we can get a little bit more like mapping in the interior landscape of the body, because this is a hard one to find. This is a hard one to locate because of tight hamstrings and glute max, okay? You're gonna do whatever you have to do. If you're gonna twist, you're gonna twist the counterintuitive way. So much of what we do is counterintuitive. So first, because it's easier to access, and Camden, maybe just like do what I'm doing on the mat for folks at home. First, we kind of twisted in the same direction as the toes. And for me, I mean, and I've been doing yoga since 2000. I was thinking about that this morning because I was like, is this the biggest crisis of my life? And I was like, oh yeah, 2001. The monsters just keep getting bigger. Holy shit. But right now I feel this from here to here. That might not be where you feel it, but I feel it from here to here. And then I go to here. Oh, poor Drake. Sorry, there's Drake playing in the studio for folks at home. Spin the back foot. Oh, mother effer. This is like Kali. I turn the back toes. And yeah, like to Desiree's point, I'm kind of turning towards my friends right here. But if I go this way, I would never even think to do this if Desiree didn't just make the suggestion. But for those of you who have this kind of hamstring awareness and no hamstring attachment issues, if I crawl towards Jaya, I'm getting it like, wow. Okay. So the tendency is to twist towards it. I'm inviting you to kind of twist away to feel it deeper. Try a second side. Okay. Downward dog. Buckle your seatbelts. We're on a journey to the land of the piriformis. Find your breath. Your breath, not my voice. On an inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. And this is one of those ones that will, for most of us, be radically and phenomenally different from side to side. Also a metaphor for, this is the bipolarization of our bodies. Turn your toes to the left and push through the inner edges of your feet. Breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt. And just notice what you feel, how it feels, where you feel it. There's nothing wrong or misplaced about how this feels and where you feel it. The point is for you to know, to see more clearly what you feel, how it feels, where you feel it. Listen to your body. Pass through lunge, point your toes straight ahead. Push your front leg straight. Take your blocks as high as you need to. You can stack blocks on blocks for that. Let us know if you want another set of blocks. And now just turn your back foot to the left. Press through the inner edge of your front foot. At first, you might want to turn to the left. If it's not sacrificing your hamstring attachments, you might walk your blocks, your hands to the right. You got to press through the inner edge of your front foot, the inner edge of your back foot, and breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt. Do you feel something? Yeah, come back through center, come back through center. Pass through your lunge and take it back to downward. You can rest in dog, child's pose, or let your breath carry you through a linking vinyasa. We'll meet on our bellies, actually. Roll onto your left side and make a pillow with your left arm, or use a bolster if you prefer. So we're in like Anantasana, the pose named for Vishnu's serpent couch. I think we did this actual pose last week. Stretch your legs out long, flex your feet. Okay, now bring your right leg in front of you and tuck your toes under, like so that your right leg is in front of you and the right leg looks like the back leg of a lunge. So so your right toes are just a little bit in front of your left leg with the toes tucked under. Okay? And then turn your heel to the sky. Yes, and your knee towards the floor. This is great. And try to extend through the heel, the inner heel, so that it's like really a Tadasana foot. Just gonna come around until everyone understands that. Shosha, you can back your leg up a lot. So let's just say like your right foot's maybe like, I don't know, 4 inches in front of your back foot. Yep. And your toes are tucked all the way under so that the whole back of your right leg is lifting up the ceiling. Like really try to spin the inner right thigh towards the sky, okay? Bring your right fingertips in front of you like a kickstand to support you. And now lift your right foot just an inch off the floor, 1 inch. And turn your toes in more, like knee towards the floor. And now we're just gonna pulse for 20. Little time, make it smaller. 1, 2, 3, lift from the inner thigh. 4, 5, 6, flex the foot. 7, 8, 9, this is so good for you. 10, 11, 12, 13. I learned this when I was rehabbing after pregnancy, but it's great for prenatal too. I lost count. Do like 5 more. And rest. Okay, now same exact orientation of your leg. Just bring the right foot behind you on the floor and spin the back of the leg towards the sky. Tuck the toes under. Take the foot behind you a couple of inches, and let's pulse for 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Now the hardest thing is keeping what we call that internal rotation in the leg because the piriformis is so mother effin' short and weak, tight and weak. So that's what you're feeling right now. Now we're gonna bend the legs so that your knees are in front of you, like bend your hips 90 degrees, knees 90 degrees. This one's so hard to explain. And those of you near the wall might need to move some proppage. You're fine, I'll move it for you. We're gonna take the top leg and make it straight on the floor in front of you. Tuck the toes under, is it okay to touch? And basically we want the top knee to bisect the bottom calf. Does that make sense? So that your bottom knee is sort of hitting the middle point of your lower leg. Is it okay to touch? Like this. Just coming around the room so that like, bend this knee in a little bit more. Is it okay to touch? And like bring that knee to here. Yes. And like right there. Okay. Now you can just work right here and really try to get that top leg to look like the back leg of a lunge. Or we'll pulse, Sally, bring your bottom knee further towards the front of the room and your top knee back a little bit. Bend your leg. You had it bent. Sorry. My instructions didn't make any sense. Take this knee that way. There you go. Okay, and now invitation, not an obligation, to pulse for 20. 1, 2, turn the leg in. 3, 4, 5, turn the toes down. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Did you feel that? Yeah. Roll onto your back. Can hug your knees in towards your chest and between sides. And the rain can get really loud in here, so just let me know if you can't hear me, if I need to speak up. Let me know if you're getting dripped on. That happens too. Okay, roll onto your second side. We're going to lay on the right side now. So especially those of you who have low back stuff, like someone said lower back stuff, like this exercise, 5 minutes total every day, every other day, is a game changer. Think of this as like a multivitamin if you're in the stage of back pain. It's like 99% of adult Americans experience low back pain. So Anantasana, we start with the legs straight, the feet flex, right arm makes a prop or a pillow for the head, left fingertips are a kickstand in front. Bring your left leg just a little bit forward so you can tuck your left toes under on the floor in front of you. Your left kneecap faces the earth, your left hamstrings, the back of the thigh face the sky. Really try to lift your back heel higher. And then as soon as you lift that back foot off the floor just an inch, your toes are going to turn forward and your heel will turn back. Do the exact opposite. Heel forward, toes back, and we'll pulse for 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Press into me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Same exact thing, just take the foot a tiny bit behind you, toes tucked under. Think inner left heel towards the brick wall in studio, yes. Inner back knee, top knee rather, towards the brick wall. Yeah. Or like lean a little bit more towards your belly and see if that helps. Does that help? Yeah. Okay, now pulse for 20. 1, 2, turn the toes in. 3, 4, 5, 6, turn the toes in. 7, 8, 9, 10, turn the toes in. 10, 9, 8, flex the foot. 7, 6, 5, turn the toes back. 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. That's good. Bend the legs, knees at 90 degrees with the hips, ankles at 90 degrees with the knees. Yeah, I'm seeing like some pounding right there. Good. Good morning. That's called awakening. I think it's maybe possibly where the whole thing, woke, came from. We've been doing that in yoga for thousands of years, awakening. Strategy for awakening. The piriformis is awakening. Okay, so your bottom knee stays in line with your hip. The top leg extends long. Tuck the toes under, and we want that top knee to kind of face the middle of the lower leg underneath it. Yeah, so bend that bottom knee in a little bit more to sort of line it up. And you can stay right here breathing. So this is just kind of getting the psoas to stretch from the sacrum towards the greater trochanter. And if you want to add the pulse, do your best to maintain the alignment. Lindsay, bring your foot way forward. Yes, right there. And pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Elise, bring your foot way forward towards Elizabeth in front of you. More. To your strap. Yeah, tap your strap. Yep. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Roll onto your back, hug your knees in towards your chest. Bridge pose. Oh, let me give you this. Oh, this is like a brand new mic, I think, maybe. Okay. Has a new clip. That's working better for folks at home. Actually, yeah, before we... Let's do a happy baby. What?
So you can speak into it.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Happy baby. And Melissa's going to take you through bridge pose from here. You sort of rock from side to side.
Okay. Let's all release hands from legs and set up for bridge here. So let's take the block and place it between the thighs. Set up with feet underneath knees. Think about toes and knees pointing in the same direction. So rather than splaying the heels out like you're duck-footed, turn them a little more in like you're pigeon-footed. And let's all place the block so it's on its thinnest width and short side faces you. Yep, so yeah, you two flip. Cool, okay. And staying here, just squeeze the block between the thighs. Like, notice what this feels like between both legs. The action of this is to get your inner thighs involved, and we're gonna keep this throughout bridge. So from here, make your little robot arms. Press the backs of your arms down into the mat, slide the palette back. From here, inhale, press down through the feet. Exhale, squeeze the block to lift your hips. Now keep squeezing the block here. Lift your hips with the power of your legs. Glue your feet down and imagine that you could peel the backs of your heels towards your butt. Nice, feel the bridge go longer and keep squeezing. Now you can stay here or maybe interlace the hands behind the back and shimmy your shoulders together. Keep squeezing the block, lengthen the bridge. Now on an exhale, slowly release the hands, lower down, middle back, lower back. You can ditch the block for a second. Let your feet come wide to the mat's edges and the knees knock in. Take a moment here and rest. Any questions? Okay, we're just doing it.
How do you protect your low back in bridge?
That's what the block is for. And like, bridge is less of a hip thrust where you're squeezing your glutes to get up there, and it's more legs. So like, squeeze the block to lift up, and like, yeah, your glutes are gonna be involved, but like, get those inner thighs in there. Yeah. Good questions. Okay. If you also don't want to do that anymore, let's come to supported bridge. Otherwise, if you're following along with me, we'll go bridge to Urdhva, block between the thighs. Set up feet underneath knees. Turn your toes in a little bit, heels a little out. Squeeze the block, and then inhale, press down through the feet. Exhale, squeeze the block to lift your hips. Squeeze the block like you could hug it between your thighs and then shoot it down towards the mat. There you go. Nice. Glue the feet down and then peel the heels back. Now, option to stay here, or flip your palms, bring them wider than you think, wide towards the mat's edges, and then squeeze the block to lift up. Keep squeezing the block. And if you're in Urdhva and you could like have a drink here, walk your toes in towards your hands, but keep squeezing the block. Don't let your feet turn out. Nice. Now in your own time, slowly lower it down, middle back, lower back. Move the block out of the way, let the feet come wide and the knees knock in. Questions, revelations, concerns? No? Okay. Otherwise, last round, you have all of your options. Follow along with me and place the block between the thighs. Toes a little in, heels a little out, feet underneath the knees. Squeeze the block, press down through your feet, inhale to lift your hips, exhale, squeeze back into the block. Keep this engagement, and then option to stay here or make your way into Urdhva. Keep squeezing the block. Pump your heart forward towards the wall in front of you. Nice. Now you can stay here or maybe walk your hands or feet in. Breathe. And in your own time, lower down, middle back, lower back. Ditch the block. We won't see her again. Let the feet come wide and the knees knock in. From here, let's take windshield wipers from side to side. Let your breath trace your windshield wiper. Inhale your legs to come over, and exhale them off to the other side.
Love that. You're gonna roll all the way over to your right and press into tabletop position. Have your hands on blocks. From tabletop, if you wanna send your hips towards your heels like puppy pose or child's pose, you're welcome to do that. Sometimes the body just wants that for dessert after the deep back bends. We're not quite done with our back bends yet. Just to breathe and expand your awareness into the backs and sides of the waist, the middle back, the lower back, the sides of the waist. Inhale to table, hands on blocks. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Have the blocks as wide as the mat. Walk your knees back so they're under your hips. Point your feet. Have your knees, let's bring the knees and feet together for this. Good. Flick the toenails down. Bring your pelvis forward towards the blocks a little, like as much as you can, I guess, and then shrug your shoulders, look forward, soften the upper back, and bend your elbows the bare minimum to bring your pelvis towards the floor. Think pelvis forward and down, shoulders up and back. Good. Press the tops of the feet down so much the knees and thighs lift, and try to drag the blocks towards your feet. Breathe. Gorgeous. Exhale, downward dog. Whew. Push through the arms to lift through the hips. Lift your heels high. Press your hamstrings, your thigh bones to the sky. And as the thigh bones press up and back, draw the bottom ribs towards the spine and the heels towards the ground. Take the right foot through to lunge. Turn your toes, both feet to the right. In our goofy sort of piriformis action, yeah? You can walk your blocks inside your front foot. Push through the inner edges of both feet. Good, turn both toes towards the front of your mat, towards the front of the room. Come through lunge, push your front leg straight. As you press through the inner edge of your front foot, tack your right hip crease back and pivot to the outer edge of your back foot. Press the inner edge of your back foot down, the inner edge of your front foot down. This is a huge if. Take the block on its lowest height under your left hand. For some people in the room, this is not for everyone. As you press through the left palm into the left block, lift your right foot up with your right hand and open it up to the sky. Hug your butt cheeks. And then place the right foot back down, downward facing dog. On your inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Pivot both feet to the left. For some people, they won't be able to get the inner edge down, but you're basically extending through the inner edges of both feet. That's the key. And depending on ankle flexibility, the inner edges of the feet may or may not make it to the floor, but you do want to feel like you're pushing on a gas pedal. Yes, pushing on a gas pedal with both feet. Ball mounds. Can you feel the difference? Yeah, and then like Camden in the front, she can do this with both legs straight. That's rare, but some of you might be able to straighten both legs like that. Do not force it, because you're talking about IT band as well, and like, you know, some shit needs to be tight. It needs to be on lock. Okay, bend the front leg, turn both feet straight ahead, push both legs straight, pyramid pose, and then just pivot the back foot to the left. And even here, press through the inner edges of both feet. And then totally optional to take the right block flat, push through the right hand, left hand holds the left foot, lift the left foot up, and open the left leg to the sky. It's called Vashisthasana, named for a sage in the yoga tradition that was known to be kind of edgy. And on the exhale, we'll meet back in lunge, downward dog. Hands on flat blocks as wide as the mat. Find your breath. Inhale to plank. As you exhale, bring your pelvis forward and down. Draw the shoulders up and back. Cobra. Exhale to child's pose. Follow your breath, not my voice. Wow, I mean, it really energetically looks like everyone just shed a skin. You look so different. How does that feel? Let the breath be as deep and as full as your body allows. Let your mind watch as the breath breathes you. Sit back on your heels. Does everyone have a set of massage balls? Okay, raise your hand high to the sky if you don't, so Melissa can come around. Keep your hand up until you receive a pair, and if that arm gets tired, just switch arms. Or if you have a shoulder injury, raise the not injured arm. So I know there was requests for shoulders as well. We definitely got into the shoulders. We're gonna get a little more in there. But we've sort of gotten into the shoulders as from below and above. And then of course the bridges and the urdhvas. Once you have your balls, we're gonna meet on our backs, heads towards the front of the room. And just have your props like within reach but out of the way, and preferably not pushed into someone else's way. As you come onto your back, bring your knees bent, feet on the floor. Cross your, oh my God, we forgot to do eagle. That's okay. We have all off season. We did half of eagle. We're gonna do the legs now. Cross the right leg over the left leg. Deep cross, thigh to thigh. Scoot your hips a little bit to the right and lower your knees to the left. Arms down to the sides or out to the sides. If out to the sides doesn't allow for your wingspan, just bend your elbows. Down to the sides is going to be less on your shoulders. Out to the sides is a little more on the shoulders. Belly breathing through the nose. Just keep the head in neutral here. As you press the right shoulder down, press your knees to the left. And now, just like we did with the arm, pull your legs apart here. If you have the flexibility, you can even tuck that bottom foot. You could tuck the top foot under the bottom leg like eagle pose, Garudasana, and then try to pull your legs apart. You should feel that like really in the outer hips, in that region where the piriformis resides. Inhale the legs to center. Uncross, shift the hips to neutral. Cross the left leg over the right leg. Shift your hips a little to the left. You can tuck that left foot behind the right calf if it suits you, and lower the legs to the right. Try to resist the head rolling to either side. Keep the head centered. Hold your head right in the center, and then press the left shoulder into the ground. Stay grounded on the left side as you press your knees to the right. Belly breathing through the nose. Inhale, fill your belly expand. Exhale, feel your belly contract. Breathing in and out through the nose, can you feel the breath get deeper and deeper, lower than your navel? Really deep into the hips and pelvis. Try to pull your legs apart. Inhale the legs to center. Uncross, stretch your legs out long, reach your arms overhead. Stretch yourself like you're being stretched on a rack. Deep breath in through the nose, let it percolate inside for a beat. Exhale with an audible sigh through parted lips. Pause at the bottom for a beat. Bend your legs, feel both feet on the ground. Find your massage balls and untote them. Take them out of the tote. Take them to the tops of your butt cheeks, one on each side of the midline. At the top of the crack, one on each side. Take your feet as wide as the mat. Is that a little better, Camden, or is that still kind of, oh, it's better. Windshield wiper your knees to the right. Breathe, belly breath. Inhale through center. You're driving here. Do not make this more intense than it has to be. Do not make it more intense than suits you. Exhale the knees to the left. Inhale to center. This time swagger your hips a little to the left as you lower your knees to the right. Take a breath. Move slowly, consciously. On an inhale, come through center. Swagger your hips to the right. Lower your knees to the left. Continue in this way, slowly at your own pace. Windshield wipering just the knees, adding the hip swagger if it suits you. As you go, the balls are getting further away from each other, sort of tracing the piriformis here from crack to outer hip. Massaging the areas of tightness and weakness that are often and easily overlooked. This is how we practice the deepening and the expansion of the light of awareness. We look for the areas that are overlooked. We tend to the areas that are overlooked, weak, and vulnerable. We offer our bodies as a shelter, a refuge, a place of protection for these aspects of ourselves end the world. That's a lot. That is a tall order, and that's why we have a practice, a strategy in service to expanding our capacity, our bandwidth, making more space for the gift of life that each breath offers. We'll come back to center when you're ready, and then remove the balls and just feel your seat soften, deepen into the lap of the earth. Can notice that if it feels right, you can stretch your legs out long and just notice the difference that a difference makes. We are meant to feel grounded so that in an unstable world, in a world of imbalance, we become the source of our own stability. That requires being grounded. That requires access to our feet and legs that we gain through the gateway of the hips and the pelvis. When the hips and the pelvis and the factions of the hips and pelvis are tight and weak, we don't feel as grounded. We don't feel as steady and stable. Enjoy the feeling of the ground, the source of your own stability. We're going to bend the legs, feel both feet on the ground again, and you're going to locate a block and place a block underneath the center of your skull. Re-tote the balls, put them back in. Actually, you don't have to re-tote the balls, but I like the balls toted for this one. So I recommend toting. And then you can tighten that toe and then place the balls right. You might have to take the block a little higher maybe, but you want the balls right at the base of the skull. Right at the base of the skull, and then the block is there to sort of press the balls, hold the balls in the base of the skull. Call us over if you're not sure. You can hold the balls in place, or sometimes your skull and the block will do that for you. And right at the base of the skull, so right at the base of the skull, nod the head yes. Slowly lift the chin, big breath in. As you exhale, lower the chin. So still moving with and in the currents of the breath, letting the breath guide you. And then gently nod your head no. Slowly from side to side, maybe staying on each side for a breath or two. This is another area of tightness and weakness. And this area pays a lot of tax from the rate at which, the tendency with which we carry the head forward of the spine in relationship to our screens, our desks, our work, just trying not to step in shit if you live in this neighborhood. My family calls me the poop police. Don't step in that. Don't step in that. I'm like yanking my kids. I think we're extra tight here because the shit is just everywhere. The shit is everywhere. I think it's called a shit storm. These are the times we're living in. Okay, the next time you nod your head no to the right, just stay on the right side and nod yes. Totally optional to do little circles. And then nod your head no to the left. When you feel ready, do little circles. Notice if there is a difference even here from side to side, if and how it relates to which side is dominant. And then come back to center and nod your head yes. And then carefully lift your head and just remove the block And bring your head onto the floor with the balls right at the center back of your skull. So take the balls a little higher. And for most of us, we might want to hold the balls there, just depending on the shape of your skull, and nod. And you might take the balls either right at the center back, or for me, if I go just south of that line, sort of in between the center back of the skull and the base of the skull is where I get really tight. So do a little exploration here. And when you find a spot that feels tender, in need of attention, nod your head yes, be receptive to what lives here. Thank this tension for, holding your head on. This tightness right here is the way your body works to keep your head in line with your heart. Feel how hard that's working? You can gently nod your head no. And then turn your head to the right and slide those balls more behind the right ear. And right there, nod your head yes, or add little circle motions. Right behind the right ear. And then come through center and slide the balls to the left, behind the left ear, and nod yes. Little circles if that feels appropriate. I believe we have a roll into rest coming up in March where we do, I think it's like 45 minutes of full body massage with these balls into restorative yoga. And then come to center and nod your head yes. And then very carefully remove the balls and let your head settle into the lap of the earth, just like your hips did a few minutes ago. Feel your head soften and settle into the lap of the earth. Release your arms down to the sides. You can take them a little wider, palms up. Cross your right leg over your left leg. Shift your hips to the right. Lower your knees to the left. And this time, let your head roll to the right. Press the left shoulder down and back. Inhale to center, let the head roll to the left. And press the right shoulder down and back. Inhale the head to center, the legs follow, uncross the legs. Shift the hips to neutral, cross the left leg over the right leg, shift your hips to the left, lower your legs to the right. Let the head roll to the left and let the left shoulder press down, the right shoulder press down into the ground. Belly breathing, let the breath breathe you, let the breath massage the visceral organs. You allow yourself to be breathed and let your awareness rest on the currents of your breath. On an inhale, just the head to center, legs stay as they are. Head rolls to the right. And press the left shoulder down and back and down. Inhale, the head to center, the knees follow. Uncross, stretch the legs out long, reach the arms overhead. You can let the breath be deep and full and soft here, or one or two more times if it suits you. Deep, full inhale through the nose. Let it percolate for 2 or 3 beats. And exhale with an audible sigh. Slow and long. Pause for 2 or 3 beats. One more time, if and as you like. At the bottom of your next breath, hug your knees in towards your chest, wrap your arms around your legs. Give yourself the sweetest, most loving embrace. Wrap yourself around yourself, for this is, and you are the gift of life. Notice how you feel. Notice any changes in how you feel, the you that you were when you got here, the you that you are now. What do you want to feel more of? How do you want to feel?
Can take happy baby or any final poses, movements, or adjustments that you need or want to make in order to feel completely prepared to fully relax. Add or remove layers, add or remove props. And as you spread yourself out on the altar of the earth, take your time and make of yourself an offering to the altar of the earth. Make of yourself an offering to whatever it is you want to feel more of. Take your time, make it sacred. Stretch your right leg out long, manually widen your right butt cheek. Hello, right piriformis. Stretch your left leg out long, let the left foot roll open, manually widen the left butt cheek. Hello, left piriformis. Deep belly breath in, exhale fully. Release the right arm to the side, the left arm. Then you can either release the arms down to the sides, palms up, or you can let the palms rest anywhere on your body. Look for your breath. Let your breath hold your vision. If and as the mind wanders, as is the very true nature of the mind, call the mind back to your breath and let the breath hold your vision. With each consecutive exhalation, can you give yourself permission to soften any last remaining bits of tension? Conscious, subconscious, and unconscious, in order to feel more deeply in the fabric of your being the unconditional support of gravity. Give yourself permission to feel more deeply in the fabric of your body the unconditional support of Mother Earth, the lap in which we were all deeply interconnected. Feel yourself held in and by the fabric of interconnection. Nothing is separate. With a steady gaze inward, invite a slow, deep, full breath in. The breath ignites the heart. And a slow, long breath out, the currents of the exhale carrying the light of your heart from inside out as far and as wide as you can possibly imagine. 2 or 3 more of the deepest, fullest breaths that require the least amount of effort, each breath igniting the heart even more. Each exhale allowing the light of the heart to emanate from inside out more widely. Laying here and now, picture yourself like a star in the sky. Light emanating from deep inside the power of your center, just like a star. Let the spirit that you are begin to gently awaken the body that you have, wiggling your toes and your fingers, gently stretching through your arms and your legs in the ways that naturally feel good. And as the spirit that you are awakens the body that you have, let the body that you have affirm, embrace, adorn, and protect the spirit that you are, literally wrapping yourself around yourself, for this is and you are the gift of life. As you feel ready, bend your legs, feel both feet on the ground, take a moment to call yourself down to earth. Take a breath, call yourself back to reality, and take an even deeper breath. Take a moment to acknowledge and honor how it is you want to feel, and to imagine the ways in which you stretch yourself in this practice of yoga into the activities of your daily life in ways that have the greatest possible positive impact on those in the world around you. Imagine that. When you feel ready, gently roll to one side, press through strong arms. We'll find our way into a comfortable seated posture with the eyes softly opened and cast down, or softly closed, gazed inward. The hands come to heart center, a final gesture of sincere self-reverence that again acknowledges the voice of the true teacher, never further than your heart, which is never further than your breath, and a gesture that places this aspect of ourselves, the source of supreme love and divine wisdom, before us as both a guide and an offering in all we do. In so doing, bringing more virtuosity, more beauty and goodness to those in the world around us. Let's seal in our time together. Let's invoke blessings for ourselves and each other, for all of the people and all of the places the most in need, by sharing the voices of our hearts in a final collective sound of Om. Again, please feel free to join into the sound or let it wash over you. Deep breath in.
as you bow to your heart with all my heart, I bow to every single one of you. I thank you so much for your practice and your presence here together today. And I thank you all for all that you are and all that you do every single day of this life. Even when we're not together, we're together. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being together. We're wrapping up our Savage Sisters collection and fundraiser, and we'll be fundraising for a very hyper-local organization called Puentes de Salud over the next few weeks. We'll have an entire weekend of fundraising. All proceeds will go to this neighborhood organization that provides healthcare and wellness services to our immigrant friends and neighbors. So they get healthcare and wellness access regardless of documentation or undocumentation. Is that a word, undocumentation? So keep an eye out for that. When you sign up for those classes, it'll be like signing up for a workshop, even though they're regular classes. But when you go to register and pay, you can pay whatever you want. And it'll be like that all weekend. We don't know the dates yet, but check them out, Puentes de Salud. I didn't realize, like, I pass it on South Street all the time. It's on, like, it's a storefront on the corner on South Street and the Teens, I think. And they do awesome work, and I'm so excited that they're our neighbors, and we're going to fundraise as a community for Puentes de Salud. Yeah. Do you know them? Yeah. And if you or anyone else you know of is in need, let us know, and we'll see what we can do as a community, okay? We're in this together. The only way out is through. Have a great rest of your weekend. Oh, happy President's Day. LOL.